Hello and good afternoon from your Co-op Community Stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore. Alongside me with his stat pack is Craig Barnes, and you join us for today's National League North matchup between Leamington and newly promoted Peterborough Sports. Last week was a tale of the cups and saw the Breaks progress in the FA Trophy on Saturday with a 1-0 win here over Bishop's Stortford, a competition in which they will now face Tamworth away on the 17th of December. Fast forward to midweek and Leamington had another cup workout, this time as holders in the Birmingham Senior Cup. However, a Dan Turner missed penalty, a junior English equaliser and the lowest crowd of the season all culminated in the Breaks being eventually dumped out on penalties by Sutton Coldfield on a damp and disappointing evening. But attention's turned back to the league today, and akin to last weekend, Leamington have opposition they have never faced before this afternoon. Peterborough Sports were promoted last season from the Southern Premier after defeating Coalville Town in the playoffs, and now the Turbines find themselves propelling their way up the National League.
Yeah, it's been quite a level first half really, but Leamington definitely got Peterborough Sports on the back foot.
High clearance from Peterborough Sports, only as far as Lawler. Lawler gives it away again, and it's Meredith who picks it up. Meredith flicks it in towards Raheem Reid. Raheem Reid, can he collect? Can he get there? He's hauled to the ground. Both of them, 6 of one, half a dozen the other. But Raheem Reid looked like he was just trying to lose the attentions of the number 17, Connor Kennedy. Kennedy seemed to half have hold of him, muted appeals for a penalty, nothing doing, and then the referee's blown up for a head injury to Kennedy anyway. Kelly Evans, right-footed, swings it in towards the penalty spot. Edwards is arriving. Turner tries to get a foot on the ball. Sent goalwards, blocked by a Peterborough Sports body. Comes back out to Raheem Reid. Raheem Reid left-footed drive over the bar. Well, I could hardly get my words out, and the Leamington players could hardly get the ball out of their feet as it came to another Leamington player who drove it goalwards. And then as it came to Raheem Reid on the edge of the box, his effort was high and wide. And we tick towards half-time at your Co-op Community Stadium. It is still Leamington 0, Peterborough Sports 0 here in the National League North. Picked up by Peterborough Sports on the edge of the 18-yard box, driving forward, snapshot, comes to McCullum on the edge, left-footed drive, left-footed goal. Great strike from Josh McCammon, shifted it onto his left foot, drilled one high into the top right-hand corner, and Callum Hawkins was getting nowhere near that. And it's Leamington 0, Peterborough Sports 1.
You could see as it fell to him that Leamington could be in trouble. Took it brilliantly, didn't he? Just drove it home with his left foot past Callum Hawkins, who could do nothing about it. It
was a neat bit of play originally on the edge of the 18-yard box, and then they just slipped one into Josh McCammon onto his right foot. He chopped back onto his left and then drilled one home right into the top corner. Callum Hawkins, exasperated dive, wasn't going to get anywhere near it. And as we tick towards the half-time whistle, Leamington 0, Peterborough Sports 1, the goal coming from Josh McCammon. Offloads it to Kelly Evans, who has too much pressure on it in return, so Theo Street receives the ball and then chips one forward. Headed away into the feet of Sano Sani, who sends one down the line for Sembi Ferris to give chase, and Sembi Ferris has got the pace on Theo Street and he'll keep it in play. Sembi Ferris works his way towards the 18-yard box, goes towards the Z ball line, chips one towards Callum Hawkins, who collects it easily, and a bit of a wasted attacking opportunity.
Yes, I mean they showed their pace on the break, then didn't they, up against Theo Street, who isn't blessed with the greatest pace these days. Cross came in and Callum Hawkins was able just to pluck it from the air.
Headed down by Kennedy and then collected by Turner, but again they rob him of possession. Lawler sends a drilled ball out towards Dion Sembi Ferris. I knew I'd struggle with these double barrel names, do bear with me. And he then does battle on this left hand side and collects it well on his right foot. It's cut out though as he tried to chip one in, but again Jarvis picks it up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Jarvis sends one forward and it's took a deflection and it's ended up in the back of the net. Well, there was a great deal of luck about it. There was nothing that Callum Hawkins could do because he'd already committed to him drive. Jarvis had too much time, too much space just to drift in field, edge of the 18-yard box. He sent his shot goalwards and then it came off the body. I'm not sure if it was Mark Jones or it was that man McCammon again, but it came off the back of someone, and as Callum Hawkins dived out to his left, the ball just spiralled and just trundled towards an empty goal into the back of the net. It's Leamington 0, Peterborough Sports 2. It is still Leamington 0, Peterborough Sports 2. Cut out is the ball by Theo Street, and he sends it across to Jack Lane on the left-hand side. Lane opted to look to use Kelly Evans. Kelly Evans collects, but then again he's just pressed so high, and Peterborough Sports have done that really well all afternoon. The minute anyone receives it in midfield, they'll press high. Theo Street gambles himself forward, uses Meredith on the right hand side. Meredith in towards Turner. Turner spins away, drives towards the 18-yard box. Left-footed drive, half a yard wide. Better play. It was Cross, in fact, who got on the end of it. I thought it was Dan Turner, but it wasn't. It was the substitute Cross. It was a good bit of play from Dan Meredith on the right hand side. He fed it into Cross, and then as Cross got the ball out of his feet on his left foot, sent a drive goalwards, but it was a good couple of yards wide. Better attacking intent from the breaks.
And you could see from Cross there, who I agree, he's similar in stature, isn't he, to Dan Turner. I could see why he got confused. But yeah, a lot of purpose about him, good feet. You can see why he's with a Football League side.
Kelly Evans then swings it in, and it's a terrible free kick. It doesn't beat the first man. It comes out to Williams on the edge, who has a left-footed drive. That comes to nothing. It's all the way back to Meredith on halfway. Chips one back in towards the penalty area. Headed down by Jack Lane. Headed down only to a Peterborough Sports body, though, but it's collected on the left-hand side by Cross. Cross drilled goalwards, and finally Peter Crook has to apply himself in more ways than just taking a goal kick, because he has to drop down and save well from the left-footed drive that came in from Cross. Ball has been sent up towards the edge of the Peterborough Sports box, and it's collected by Cross. Cross gives it to Kelly Evans. Kelly Evans sees he's got Williams in space on the right hand side. Williams gets it onto his right foot, sends a cross in well low towards the near post. He tried to be drilled home by Jack Lane, but it was well cut out again. Meredith picks it up onto his left foot. He sends a high cross towards the far post, but he's got it all wrong on his left foot, on his weaker foot, and it goes out of play. And that sort of sums up the frustrations that the breaks have had this afternoon. We can't be far away from that final whistle. Hall on the left-hand side sends it out towards Cross. Cross tries to make his way towards the byline, sends a left-footed cross in all the way to the far post. It'll be kept in. No, it won't be kept in by Charlie Williams. And that sort of sums up the breaks afternoon, and that sums up the game, and that sums it up altogether, because the referee this afternoon blows the full-time whistle. It's finished here at your Co-op Community Stadium. Leamington 0, Peterborough Sports 2.
As we've said throughout the game, just quite a frustrating afternoon for us on the whole, and I'm sure Paul Holloran will just want to get the squad back together on Tuesday in training, allow them to rest up a little bit after a busy week.
Indeed he will, as the Peterborough Sports players come over to clap their fans. The breaks have already done so to their fans behind the goal. But that's it today. The breaks couldn't really get going, and Peterborough Sports, the Turbines, they propel themselves further up the league. So it's finished here today in the National League North. It's Leamington 0, Peterborough Sports 2.
So Paul, 2-0 loss here to Peterborough. Your thoughts on the game today?
Obviously disappointed. I thought we failed to manage moments in the game, especially either side of half time. It was probably never going to be a classic. I think they're a very experienced, well organised team, and then both the nines do an important job in this league. The ball sticks, and then the front three play off him, and their interchanging was good. We will look back and be very, very disappointed with the last phase of play, where their goals come from, the mistake, the way we've dived in. We can't do that at this level. The player was good enough to come off the left-hand side and punish us. I think we've asked a few more questions second half. I think the key things in the game, physically, know-how, energy, I think they've been better, Peterborough. When you're looking at us then, when we have threatened and we've got into good areas, we haven't got our shots off, some of the set plays we've put in, you're thinking, come on, who wants to score a goal here? Sadly at the moment we're not anticipating, we're not reacting, and a disappointing, frustrating day. We've probably had enough of the ball, second half especially, and I think they're the kind of side you need to be going into the last 20 minutes of the game with a 0 by your name, and maybe just see whether you could push them back and create an opening. But I think, being bluntly honest, we've had too many players today that probably would be getting 5 or 6 out of 10, and our know-how and our game management would probably be less than that, and that's disappointing, because you're into a stage of the season now, coming to December. There's going to be a lot of games like this, and I think we looked a bit like a soft touch today. I think we looked a bit fragile and got involved in things we didn't need to get involved in. whereas they've just come and done a job, and it was a good away performance from them and a disappointing home one from us. So we'll need to just regroup and go again.
You spoke about times to concede goals. 43rd minute, just before half time. Not the best time to concede.
No, it's not. No, and when you're playing football, when you're in football a long time, there's different periods of the game where you might go out and do what you want to do, but when you get into that period, the stats will tell you that teams concede goals before and after half time when they concede a goal. Concentration levels and we do enough. We talk about it enough. Players are aware of it, and we should just see that through then. And 0-0 and slight advantage coming down to the fans here, but we didn't, and it's a game of too many mistakes for us today, and it was a frustrated performance. You could see that, but there was a number of players that needed to do the basics better, and certainly going into the final third, whether we went in direct or trying to play through, the ball didn't stick enough, and we weren't clever enough with the ball to cause some problems. But when we did put good deliveries in, and when we did ask a few questions, as I say, we just haven't been ruthless enough to somebody go and get a goal. And it's a bit of a it's difficult sort of time for us. But listen, we'll keep working hard, and we'll endeavour to keep doing what we're doing. And I'll always back this group to bounce back and come back strong.